Well, since we're talking about the what it is that you apparently got into so much trouble for, do you want to lay out your view of what's happening right now in Ukraine? A view that, as Leonard just pointed out, is something you've held for, I would say, decades.
Well, if you look at Ukraine, our view is a worldview. It's not just some specific thing that's happening with Russia and Ukraine. We have a theory about the existing social system itself and how it came into being, and that the whole capitalist system is born, rests on a pedestal of colonialism, colonial domination by what is now characterized as Western powers. And that this thing is fracturing in a very serious way, that there's the obvious distress and the whole world and political and economic social system is undergoing a tremendous transformation. The world, the economic and political configuration of the world is going an incredible transformation. And what happened, of course, in 1917 with the Russian Revolution, that's when the assault on Russia began first. And all the colonial powers, including the United States and Japan, invaded Russia. And the objective then, because Russia, well, I don't want to go into all of that history, but it invaded Russia. And subsequent to that time, the foreign policy of the United States and Europe, Western Europe, has been to isolate, contain Russia in the various iterations that the Russian government has represented itself in. First, with the Soviet Union, and later on Russia, and then, of course, in 2014, this creeping movement by the United States to the borders of the Russians' border. They had already done Afghanistan, that Brzezinski bragged about. The National Security Advisor for James Earl Carter had bragged about contributing to the destruction of the Soviet Union. This Afghanistan thing that they had begun, some years ago. I think that was '84. They may have gone into Afghanistan, and so this whole process of moving closer and closer to Russian borders, encircling Russia, that has been obviously a part of the the foreign policy of the United States, and it resulted in about 2014 the coup that was backed by the United States that overthrew an elected government, and that was friendly to Russia than the so-called Western powers would have it to be. And so they initiated this coup. There's Zelensky government as a consequence of that, and involved in this government. I mean, for people who claim to be concerned about such things as fascism and Nazis, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, they're a critical component of the military forces in Ukraine. Not the majority, but critical sector. And so Zelensky is greeted as this great hero, and trillions, certainly scores of billions of dollars of U.S. money, weaponry, training forces, all kinds of resources going into Ukraine. And so suddenly we see that this love affair that's happening between the United States and Ukraine that is moving against Russia. And it's not that we are Russians or anything like that, but we know something about the nature of the social system, and we can see this fracturing that's occurring here. And we know that this war is something that strengthens oppression and not help oppressed people anywhere in the world to be free. It strengthens a really incredible kind of reactionary situation on a global level. And so we had to oppose it and say we oppose, and say also we know why it's happening. And it's not like we're going to send troops to fight in Ukraine or something, but we oppose it. And to say this is what is happening, that everything they're saying is a lie, and then billions and billions of dollars that they can't spend for education, they can't spend for even giving people minimum kind of insurance, healthcare, etc. These billions of dollars that's being used to make this war, and thousands of people are dying as a consequence of that. We got to say something about it. We can't go along with that just because we're here. So we protest that. We say that we don't agree with that, and let's tell the truth. And when you open up every door for the truth to be told, let's open this door. Let the truth be told. I mean, when I was younger, there used to be this saying in the United States: you go to school that free speech is just critical. And the United States believes in free speech because this battle of ideas. Let the ideas, contest with each other. But you don't hear that anymore. Now you hear things like people being radicalized when they see the wrong things on social media, weaponizing free speech, etc. There's everybody's being listened to. Everybody. There's no such thing as privacy, a presumption of privacy in the lives of the people anymore. I don't think people expect privacy in this country anymore. I mean, it's so pervasive, this intervention in the lives of the people by a government that's everywhere. And it's not just something that so-called leftists are being affected by, but people across the political spectrum, in many ways, are responding to this intervention by the government that attacks the right for people to think things differently and to act different and to create this special force that now has been designated by law, even as a protected class who carry guns in our communities and can raid our homes and things like that. That's an extraordinary kind of situation. And to sit and watch that happen and not protest it is begging to live under the worst kind of oppression. And Black people have come through it, live with it every day. And I'm damned if I'm going to be able to be silent in the face of that.